Hello everyone and welcome to Rewind, the retro video game show coming to you live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern right here on the AWS for Games channels on YouTube and Twitch. And sorry you caught that little off-camera cough right into the mic. I usually hit that mute button, but I was a little too fast with the cough, too slow on the drawer for the mute button. Look, I know you asked this on just about every YouTube and Twitch video, but please hit that like, subscribe, and alert buttons so you know when we go live every week with new content. This really does help the channel out. So if you like the content we're making, please hit those buttons, and we do appreciate you doing so. I also want to give a shout out to our latest subscriber, RexVR. Make sure you check out his channel, which is rexvr.38 right here on YouTube. And good luck in building your channel. Also, a shout out to Sergio for giving me this life-saving coffee that I absolutely needed right here in the middle of the day to go ahead and provide that pick-me-up. So, Sergio, thank you. And once again, go ahead and check out rexvr.38 right here on YouTube. He is in the process of rebuilding his channel, and we love to see people doing that. My name is Chris Melissinos. I'm the principal evangelist for video games here at AWS. And on today's episode, we're going to explore another mini console, the A500 Mini. Now, I know the A500 Mini released about 2 years ago, but I've been messing around with a variety of Amiga builds and thought it was a good time to re-experience the A500 Mini package and look back at some of the amazing games the Amiga had during its heyday. But first, let's give a quickly, a brief overview of the Amiga line of systems. The very first Amiga computer was released in the summer of 1985. It was called the Amiga 1000. Originally, it was conceived by ex-Atari and Activision employees. It was originally conceived, I should say, by ex-Activision Atari employees. And the Amiga was the most powerful home computer in the world at its time, boasting the very first real-time multitasking operating system for a computer at this price point, and graphics and audio capabilities that blew everything else away. Now, the hardware was originally designed by Jay Miner, RJ Michael, and Dale Luck. The goal, as described by my friend RJ in the Game Industry Legends interview I conducted with him last year, was to create a powerful kind of, home video game system in the form of a personal computer. Now, you have to remember, at the time of the Amiga's launch, the video game industry was still recovering from the crash in 1982. So personal computers were where most consumers were playing video games. So their approach really seemed to be a safe bet. So there's a whole sordid tale about the funding of Amiga in the early days of the company that included Atari, Tramiel Technologies, and the on-again, off-again activities that kept the Amiga team looking for funding and safe ground. With Commodore providing this safe harbor for the team, they kept plugging away and got the first systems to market in 1985, but production issues, lack of cash, etc., meant that the original rollout was underwhelming, shifting less than 150,000 units in their first year. However, management changes at Commodore would improve the team's operating and development, and multiple models emerged over the 10-plus years of manufacturing lifespan of the Amiga. Models like the 500 and 600 were aimed at the lower end of the home market, offering a system that looked similar to the later model Commodore 128. The 1200 model followed that same format, while with more powerful internals, and the Amiga 2000, 3000, and 4000 were aimed at the professional business and media industries, where Amigas could be found delivering real-time graphics for the broadcast industry to game developers using them as high-end workstations, just like Cyan had in developing the adventure game Myst. The Amiga line, by and large, was centered around the Motorola 68000 CPU, which, at the time, was extremely popular. In fact, I would say that CPU ranks up there in popularity with the 6502 and the 8088 and 8086 variants as well. Towards the end of the Amiga's life, there were models that were shipped with PowerPC processors as well. Look, but there's so much to discuss about the Amiga architecture, its custom chipsets, advanced audio, the ability to perform gen locking to sync computer graphics and video for special effects, and more, that I could spend the next hour just talking about the stats, facts, and figures. But we're here for the games. So while we're going to be playing through the collection on the A500 Mini and a few others, we'll touch on why the Amiga was so groundbreaking. So with no further delay, let's head on over to the workbench and check out what comes with the A500 Mini. All right, so here we've got the A500 Mini packaging, once again by Retro Games. I do love the way that they, the way that they package these mini systems up, these mini consoles. We already went ahead and did the Atari 400 version. Now we've got the A500 Mini, and then we're going to be digging into the Commodore 64 Mini down the road here. Also, let me just go ahead and check. We have chat coming in here. Yay, it's Rex VR. Hey, buddy, thank you for making sure you stopped on over today. Yeah, I did meet you in Virginia. Good job. Good job, my man. Good job. All right, so let's get on with the unboxing of the A500 Mini. So, oh yeah, you know what? Let me stop the applause. We got some studio applause going on right here. And we'll go ahead and put on some long play music while we're in the background here before we jump into some of that gameplay. And yeah, let's see. All right, here we go. All right, so once again, the A500 Mini by Retro Games. Again, really love the packaging. Do such a good job on kind of, invoking that same feeling we had when we got these game systems, back in the 80s, right? You have all of the artwork on the box here. Really fantastic, fantastically packaged and really solid. Like, it feels substantial, like when you go ahead and lift the box. All right, so let's go ahead, open it up and check it out. Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful that little A500 Mini is. I mean, the attention to detail on the console is really tremendous, from the silk screening on the keys there to now, of course, it's not a workable keyboard, right? You can see just, seeing a button press, right, would cover a couple of keys. However, there are people, that have made mods to this that give you a full keyboard and make it a fully workable machine for the A500, for, I believe, the Atari 400 and the Commodore 64 Mini, of course. And if you have the replica, floppy disk slot here, of course, that doesn't work. You have your venting on the bottom there for the board, and we have our serial number here. This is a pretty high number right there. And then the ports in the back, we have our power button, we have our USB-C power, we have HDMI, and then 3 additional USB ports. And this is going to be really important as we go ahead and unpack the rest of the package here. So this is the actual console. Love the weight and feel of this thing. It is amazing. All right, so now let's see what else is in the box here. We have the A500 Mini Quick Guide. This logo here is actually a couple of the quadrants from the Amiga 500 Boing demo, which was this red and white ball that would bounce around the screen and really could show off the capabilities of a system like the Amiga back in a time when, other game consoles and home machines couldn't animate as such a large object and move it, smoothly around the screen. So really, really cool. And so, yeah, you have, a nice little manual here that tells you how to go ahead and use the Amiga 500 or the A500 Mini. And then underneath here we have, and this is what I love too, all of the controllers that you would need to play the games that really stood out on the Amiga. So in the first box here, of course, we have the control pad. So let's see, in the box we have the control pad. Now this looks a bit odd, right? Because normally you would see a cutout like this at the bottom of the pad, similar to an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, right? Where we have those stalks that would kind of press up against your palms. But this was reversed. And honestly, it's really comfortable to use and a really good quality gamepad. This wasn't a throwaway piece. This is designed really, really well and works really well. And then additionally in the box here, we have, which one is this? This is probably USB-C cable for power, but I have one of those already set up, so we're going to ignore that. And then it also comes with a mouse. And this is, really looks just like the original mouse that came with the Amigas. And we'll go ahead and open that up. Of course, we also have an HDMI cable there as well. And this is the Amiga mouse. and it's a 2-button affair. Now, of course, you know, the original one was a mechanical mouse. This, of course, is an optical one. We don't really make or ship mechanical mice anymore, right? But this is what we have here. And it's actually a really good, you know, mouse as even a daily driver. You know, it's kind of, let me see if you can hear. Yeah, we got the clicky clicks there. It works really, really well. And some of the games you absolutely needed to go ahead and have when you were, some of the games required both require either a gamepad or the mouse. I don't believe any required both at the same time, but you have all of that in the package. And the great thing about this, you know, you can relive the experience of the Amiga and all of that software in this product, which I think is like $120 on Amazon right now. So pretty amazing. I also love the fact that, you know, with the cables that they chose to package in here, they're color coordinated as well. So the whole, you know, the whole package is a lovely, well curated affair. So what we're going to go ahead and do is let's go ahead and get some of the twist ties off of these controllers here. And we're going to go ahead and move back on over to the desk over there, and we're going to go ahead and plug in the A500, boot this up, and start playing some games. So let's go. All right, and here we are back over into our 8-bit living room, and I'm going to go ahead, you know, let's go ahead and run some of the commercials from the Amiga. It's not just Amiga commercials, but also the Commodore 64 commercials as well. So let's go ahead and pop up some of those. We're just going to have them run in the background while we're playing here. And I also want to go ahead and once again give a shout out to Rex VR. He's saying, you know, I'm waiting for you on my TV phone. I'm eating some chicken nuggies, and I told you I'd be here. Absolutely, man. And I told you that I would give you that shout out. RexVR.38 right here on YouTube. Make sure you go ahead and check it out. He is rebuilding his channel, and wish you the best of luck, man. But we're going to go ahead and jump into some of the Amiga stuff right here. So, you know, it's going to be really important to have those multiple USB ports in the back, because now we have multiple peripherals that we need to go ahead and plug in. So I'm going to ditch off to the side so I can go grab the rest of them and plug it in. All right, now one of the things that you want to go ahead and do when you have any of these mini systems is really pay attention to the instructions, because you don't want to plug any of these mini systems into a fast charger, right? You want to go ahead and use just a regular 5-volt charger. A lot of these systems don't come with those charging bricks anymore, because we have so many of them.
You learned you were facing a world full of competition. There were so many of you with all the right credentials. To succeed today, you need a way to stand out from the crowd, to make the most of your special package. Introducing Amiga, the computer that gives you undreamed of creative power to work faster and more productively. With built-in color graphics, no other comes close to Amiga, the first personal computer to give you a creative edge.
A low-powered brick, but it wasn't, and I want to find the board. So don't make that mistake. All right, so here we go. We're going to fire that. Oh, let's get our little system up here too. Boop! There's our little A500 Mini. And let's go ahead and boot into our A500 here. And let's see. There we go. We're going to shut off this music here so we can listen to the A500. There we go. And now we're into the interface right here. And let's see. Will it work with the mouse? Yeah. All right. So the system comes with a bunch of games. I think 20 or 25. I also have, you know, being a collector, being somebody who's in game preservation, I happen to have access to quite a number of these games. So I've also added some that I wanted to go ahead and explore as well. And we may take a little bit longer than an hour this week. I know I was off for a couple of weeks. We had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of personal stuff going on. So I figured, hey, jumping back in, let's make it a little bit longer. I'm going to also pop into the chat here.
The Commodore Amiga 500 now comes with the exciting Batman package, or class of the 90s, the fun way to learn. Is he doing his homework or playing the Joker?
Look forward to it. How about that? All right. Okay, so here we go. So let's see. you have a pretty, standard navigation system here. Oh yeah, RexVR said, you know how you were my 7th sub, and now he has 10. So good job to you. Good job to you, RexVR. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the games. All right, so here's the thing about Amiga, right? So the Amiga machine, when it came out, it was doing things and with graphics and audio that we just hadn't seen before, right, in a home machine. Really more advanced than what we were seeing on consoles at the time, certainly more advanced than what we were seeing in home PCs. And the Amiga was, it was just a revolutionary machine. It was used and popularized by television stations that would use it in its gen-locking capabilities, which is the ability to synchronize the graphics that are being output by the processor and video that was being fed into it. So you could sandwich all of that together and push it out onto a television feed, and it would be synchronized with the NTSC standard or PAL, right, depending on the region that you lived in. But this was the territory of $100,000, $150,000, television systems, right? And so you're now able to do this on an Amiga with a card called the Video Toaster, which was an amazing piece of hardware. And so again, the system just broke.
Aren't you astronauts?
Yes, ma'am. We like to compare notes with Stevie on the new space station.
And at a price point,
Hi.
We're the Pointer Sisters. We need Stevie's help with our new album.
The Amiga computer. What can it do? Well, what do you want it to do?
I need some more help.
Mr. O'Neill, upstairs for store on the left.
Amiga from Commodore, the computer for the creative mind.
But I believe as well, if we go in and take a look at our options here. Let's see. So let's go through all of the pieces here, right? So we've got mouse sensitivity, music volume, and all the stuff that we would expect to see. I'm going to go ahead and shift that to mimic the Amiga behavior. So now it's got actual lights on the system, so when it's accessing the disk, you'll see them flash like they used to, and that kind of thing. Okay, display options here. You can either have fixed size, screen fit, or zoom. You can also enable CRT, which is scan lines, to make it look like it did when you were back on a monitor, and enable the edge smoothing. Enabling edge smoothing just smooths out the picture and makes it a little bit less blocky. Some people like it, some don't, but I'm just going to leave it the way we have it. And then, of course, screen fit, because I want everything to fit on the screen here. Of course, language, you have 6 different languages to go ahead and choose from. And then in your advanced options, you can choose the different
because we had similar dreams.
Refresh rates depending on what you're using.
This was twice as fast.
Let's see, your system information. There is the build of the operating system, your legacy, legal notices, factory reset, and your expert mode. And in expert mode, enable expert game settings. Enables additional advanced options. Set. All right, so here we go. Then of course you can shut down the device.
Incredible graphics.
So again, it came with about 20 or so games. So let's go ahead and start with what is included. I'll pick out the ones that I like. The first is Zool. Here we go. And Chopper Chop. So listen to that music. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume down a little bit on that, because I think it was pretty high there. And what you'll notice with these games is they have a very European flair to it, right? It was just different design sensibilities between European developers and developers here in the U.S. and, of course, developers in Japan, right? And so, once again, this has very much a European design flair to it, and you'll see that as we go through play. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to rearranging the chat windows here to make sure that
it is the best machine that is around anywhere in the world.
The professional machine of the future.
Here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in and play some Zool. Oof.
How would I describe it?
I think it's fantastic.
Awesome. It's going to skyrocket. Only Amiga makes it possible.
Only Amiga
Prepare
makes
yourself.
it possible. Only Amiga makes it happen. Only Amiga makes it possible. Only Amiga makes it happen.
Amiga's got the guts to do things that you can't do on other hardware.
And it does all the work for you. Wow.
State-of-the-art technology at a price that everybody can afford.
The Amiga is the best graphics machine available in the world today.
It's not terrible.
Only Amiga.
Okay, so anyway, you can see with
Only Amiga.
Only Amiga.
Only Amiga.
very much as Sonic the Hedgehog style.
Makes it possible.
Only
Amiga makes it possible.
Only Amiga
Outrageous.
makes it possible. Only Amiga makes it
I want to make sure that I didn't do
This is it.
the game, yeah, it's pretty colorful and looks, difficult to pronounce this here. Let's see, can I do it? Okay, there we go. So yeah, it is pretty cool and colorful and all that other stuff. But what you'll notice is it's really difficult to discern like what's in the background and what isn't.
500 computer
So
from Commodore.
for some reason,
Simply
this
amazing.
game, whenever I've gone in to try it, it's hard to tell like what you can jump on, what you can't jump on. One of the things it does do that you'll notice is it does parallax scrolling, right, which gives the illusion of depth for any of these types of games.
The extraordinary
That just
Amiga
means
500
the
computer
foreground
from
is
Commodore.
actually,
It's a whole lot of fun.
scrolling at a different rate of speed than the background. So it just gives, again, that sense of depth that you want, right? It just makes it look cooler, right? So, let's see. Of course, now I just jumped under the spikes there. Yeah, very much, again, a Sonic the Hedgehog style, side scroller, lots of good colors. But again, this very European feeling. If you've never had a Chupa Chup before, they are lollipops. They're fantastic. Do love them. But okay, that is Zool. Let's go ahead and jump on into some other games as well. And now that I'm hearing audio in the menu, I guess we did have audio in there. Okay, this game, Another World. This game, when it hit, I mean, it dropped like a bomb. This thing was unbelievable. Really programmed, designed by one person. Watch this cutscene.
Also be perfectly willing to show you, as we've done for the last 50 seconds, what you and the Amiga are capable of creating.
Now remember, at the time that this game came out, we were used to, 16-bit style games, nothing that really looked or felt like this. And the fact that this was really developed by a single developer was just absolutely extraordinary. You know what else is a good thing to do? Is to not shut down your
so easy to use,
control
powers
panel.
and abilities far beyond anything you may have ever experienced before.
All right, let's see what's going to happen when
graphics and animation, a home office productivity wonder.
Now I remember this now. I didn't play this on the Amiga. I originally first played this game on an IBM PC clone. Back when I worked at this little company called Soft Warehouse that eventually became CompUSA. I remember where I was, which machine in the building that we were playing this thing on. We could not believe what we were seeing, right? And it just made you want to upgrade your machine and make sure that you could play this game at home because just, oh my gosh, just absolutely amazing. But the fact it was on Amiga as well was pretty cool.
Adaptable to virtually every goal and aspect of your life.
Experiment. All right, let's go.
At the click of a mouse, I am yours to
What's going to happen here? And then this is one of those games too that where the gameplay is really emerging. You have to start playing through it multiple times to really figure out,
you can be everything that
how to go, what the objective was, when you needed to move, and so it had a good kind of replay loop. But once you've kind of figured it out, then you could kind of rush through the game. But I haven't played this in years, so let's see if I can remember some of this stuff. All right, here we go. He's doing a particle acceleration experiment, and then boom.
Software like Electronic Arts Deluxe Paint 2, make creating your own high-resolution artwork and graphic design simpler,
let's see.
more rewarding. With new text DigiPaint, choose from a palette of 4,096 vibrant colors.
Yeah, this is a pretty long cutscene there. Now remember, there is no 3D graphics here, right? These are all it's artistry.
Expand your artistic horizons with a peripheral drawing tablet like Anakin Research's easel, or
so now, boom, you appear in this other world, and you have to go ahead and start swimming up.
Precision drawing.
And you see those tentacles that start coming from the bottom, right? So continue holding up here. We have some sort of creature that has
you can add an uncanny new dimension of realism.
And let's see if I can start running in this direction. So you see there's a tentacle that's coming out. So if you didn't leave the screen, you would have gotten it. And you have to watch out for the top and the bottom, these deadly slugs.
Engineers and designers,
and it's a little hard to see all of this, right? On on a smaller screen right now, because I'm looking at the window here. Plus, I'm in the studio here with a bunch of lights in my face, but no excuses for good or bad gameplay. Oh, okay, that's obviously not a slug. That's something I can just run past. Oh no! Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Ah! He's gonna get me right in the leg. Just once. And now you wobble and you're down. All right, let's go again. Let's go again.
Animation and design studio.
Let's go again. Let's press that button to continue, and you had a code that you could get. Yeah, so if I didn't start pressing up, the tentacles from the bottom would come up and get me.
Of unique vision, 4-voice stereo sound.
Now, this game was also known as Out of This World
computer
here
designed to
in
let
the
you
States.
join the revolution in home
Get out of the
video
way.
music.
These guys are jumping down from the ceiling. Oh, come on!
Letting you record on the video anything your mind is capable
slug.
of creating or
Let's go,
composing.
let's go.
With the simple addition of a mimetic track, you become your center of home video production. This Genlock system lets you overlay computer-generated images and sounds directly onto any live or pre-recorded videotape source. Now the fun begins. With packages like Aegis Video
should be right at the top.
Summa Group's TV text, and JDK Images Pro Video
so it's randomized too.
You can produce titles, captions,
if you were
and
going to kind of slowly walk into the frame because you didn't know where it was, no,
it video image to create your own customized video production.
All right, let's
go from this to this.
And this is also a game of patience, because what you want to do is kind of move faster than the walk animation was going to let you. And if you tried to and you didn't have the animation finish, then you may wind up stepping on a slug or doing something you didn't want to do.
Non-computerized image, a photograph,
a
document, a drawing, and feed it directly into my memory. Once here,
yeah, so not a lot of soundtracks for
customize it
soundtracks for some of your other Amiga creations. There were some banger soundtracks for some of the other ones. We're going to go ahead and get into them there. We've got plenty of time today
fully animated
because we're dedicating most of the time to
keep listening. My 4-voice, 9-octave stereo sound lets you recreate dozens of musical instruments and sounds.
Now, the A500 Mini, right? And it's called the A500
resonance
Mini,
of
the
a
Amiga
choir.
500, right?
No matter what your musical background or skill, there's an Amiga music software package suited to your
get
needs.
out of the way
Deluxe
here.
music construction set and instant
Now,
music from Electronic
when you
Arts,
first play this, you
Aegis'
stand there like a dope,
Activision's
and you wind
Music
up getting
Studio,
hit,
and Micro Illusions Music X are scoring hits everywhere. And with an optional
I stopped. If you grab the vine, basically, then you swing back, then he runs up, and then a guy comes out and shoots him and gets away with you. But that is another world. Really, really cool. And again, it was just so different from what we saw at the time. Really inspired game. And wonderful gameplay, and again, mostly done by, a single developer, right? There we go. I'm going to get hit again. All right, we're done with that. Let's go ahead and jump into the next one. Battle chess is exactly what it sounds like. It is you're battling playing chess. Or actually what it is the characters, when you go to move a chess piece and they attack each other, they get this big animated thing, right? Which is kind of cool. Pinball Dreams is another pretty interesting one. I love digital pinball games. Some of my favorites are on things like the systems like the TurboGrafx 16, Devil's Crush, Alien Crush, great games. But before then, we had Pinball Dreams, right? So let's go ahead and bring up the menu or the keyboard here. And let's, you know what? I am a huge fan of 80s rap and stuff like that. So let's see.
With packages like
what, of course, the Beastie Boys being the greatest rap group that's ever lived. Let's hear what we thought Beatbox Pinball Dreams look like.
Planning and organization, so running a home or small business becomes faster, easier, and more manageable. With more sophisticated graphics packages like Aegis Impact, I add persuasive power to your small business presentations and sales materials.
Okay, we got those two buttons there, and we're going to pull back. And there you go. Again, at the time, pinball games didn't look like this on the systems we had at home. They were really very anemic. They didn't have a lot of color to them. Didn't have all of the, the lit ramps and arrows and all that other stuff that we see in packages like this. And so this was great at getting it home. It felt like a real pinball game, or this could be a real pinball game. Of course, some of the games that I mentioned, like Devil's Crush and Alien Crush, you really can't. Well, I guess you could make them into modern pinball games, or you can approximate, but not really. They're games that only exist in video form because you just can't do in physical form what those were doing. But this one feels like it could have just been a straight up regular old, pinball game that you would play at, local arcade or pizza parlor or something like that. They call it pizza parlors anyhow? I think they have pizza parlors. And of course, you have some sick 80s beats with the decibel overload. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that was Pinball Dreams. All right, let's go ahead and see what else do we have here. Project X Special Edition. All right, let's go and check out horizontal shooters. I love me a good shmup. It's probably my favorite genre of games are shoot 'em up games. So let's see what Project X has to offer. Now, some of these games I'm playing actually for the very first time here. Not all of them, but some of them for sure. For sure. And if I'm looking over at the little machine, I actually see the lights working as if it was accessing a real floppy drive, right, or hard drive. So
management and personal productivity.
Get Ready Player One. All right, so we've got. It looks like a progression system as well, like Gradius did. And yeah, of course, power ups.
I am the Commodore Amiga 500.
I do like that you've got this the multi. Oh, listen to that too. That's right. It could also do sampling. So some of the audio is going to be, again, voice samples. Something that was not in widespread use at the time that the Amiga launched, but the Amiga can certainly do it. Okay. Being able to go ahead and move a lot of sprites around the screen at the same time without any what are called line flickering, right? So sometimes when you see, like on older Nintendo games or Atari 2600 games or systems of that era, sometimes you get too many objects moving on the screen, you'll see them start to flash. And the reason that they're flashing was because the system can't go ahead and paint all of those sprites on the same plane or same scan line as each other. And so they had a maximum amount. And so what the software would wind up doing was it would alternate between frames which one you could see, which ones you couldn't, which is why you get that flickering. But you don't notice any flickering on the Amiga because of the way you can draw graphics in the background and animate them. And so yeah, you get this lot of objects on screen, all solid, right? And still being able to do things like parallax scrolling. Once again, you notice how how fast the foreground that our ship and the enemies are in. Then you have the star field right behind it that's moving at a different speed, and then you have the deep space background moving at a different speed yet again. So it gives the illusion of real depth, right? Even though it's not 3D, but yeah, it's very convincing, and of course, you know, we see a lot of games in the 16-bit era do this as well. So this was, you know, pretty competent
and exclusive stereo sound. The only home computer that puts
side-scrolling shoot 'em up. But again, a lot of these games didn't feel like some of the games we were playing here in the West. They really did, well, in the US, I should say. They did feel very European.
Enter strange new worlds of fantasy and fascination. Role-playing adventures like The Bard's Tale by Electronic Arts.
Let's also
Micro
some of that
Lands of Legends, and Mindscape's Defender of the Crown. Take the ultimate test.
I entered the top 10 table. Please enter my name, and it's woeful. Why would I enter my name if it's woeful? I'm not going to do that. So let's go ahead and jump out. Let's go ahead and jump into another game. Let's see, Stunt Car Racer. All right, this is an attempt at a 3D style.
Infocom's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
You know, race games.
Leather Goddesses of Phobos.
We're going to select that. All right, so let's go ahead and pop up
in stereo with sports stars like Earl Weaver's Baseball from Electronic Arts and the ultimate game of golf Leaderboard from Access Software.
There we go.
And bring arcade
all right, so who are we going to play as?
Marble Madness by Electronic Arts and Firebird's Star Glider. There's no end to the fun and excitement. I am your complete game and home entertainment center. I am fun.
Practice, Hall of Fame. Let's get the.
I am the Commodore Amiga 500. I am all that you have seen.
Let's go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of practice. Let's go check out what this has to offer. Let's do tracks in Division 1 since we're just experiencing this for the first time. And let's practice
software and peripherals, including the Commodore Amiga 2000.
See how it's building it now. The way it's doing this 3D.
Beautiful.
What's happening? A commercial playing audio? Oh, what's wrong with my audio?
I am enlightening.
I am fun.
Do you still hear that commercial? Oh, you do hear that commercial playing audio. Yeah, now you don't. Hey, thanks, Mark. My life force was running out. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, so now we no longer have that running in the background. A commercial playing audio? Not anymore. Not anymore. All right, here we go. Thank you for letting me know. All right, here we are. In the background, no more sound. Now it's just racing games. All right, let's go ahead and see. Was it loud? The commercial? Did it sound loud? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, see, that's the problem sometimes. You know, when I'm doing these shows all by myself, sometimes I can hear these pieces. Oh, it was loud. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry about that. Terribly sorry about that. Oh, it was as loud as the mic and the game? Oh, my goodness. Okay, yeah, see, this is why we need to do these checks. Right, that's okay. We went ahead and got it. Yeah, oh, you know, I'm okay. Now, you know, I was looking over at the chat because I saw it popped up and I just ran off the road. Thanks, Mark. Thanks. Appreciate you, buddy. All right. Oh, now, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, look at that. Wait, get me back onto the screen. But you can see how it feels like you are really racing in a, you know, a fully realized 3D game. You know, it's oh, let's see. Oh, shot right off the side of the track. I do love the fact that you have all of the engine right there in front of you. All right, let's see. Come on. I'm gonna fire. Oh, that's right. That is, I think, the turbo, right? So let's see. Let's see. Here we go. And we are racing around. And let's see. Where are we going to go here? We're going to go and hit the turbo on the straightaway. No. Yeah, this is difficult to navigate. We're running at a blistering 12 frames a second. Oh, my goodness. Yes, this game was exceptionally hard to go ahead and play. But a lot of fun, right? A lot of fun. And we just got wrecked there. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into some other games. And yeah, and just in case you couldn't hear it before, we have a viewer and a subscriber to the channel, Rex VR. He is rebuilding his audience. I was his 7th follower when I met this young individual, and at a family event, and he's now has 10 followers there. So make sure you go check out rexvr.38 as he's building that up. All right, what does Mark say here? I love the 3D stuff on Amiga. I played F18 so much too. Wait, F14, something like that. Yeah, I think it comes with it here. F16 Combat Pilot. Is that what you were thinking? F16 Combat Pilot? Yep, that is included here on the A500 Mini. Really, really cool. All right, that was Stunt Racer. Let's see. Supercars. Let's see. That's a Top View racing game. I do like some of the Top View racing games, sort of. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at another platformer, Titus the Fox. So, companies were playing around. This was the era of the mascot, right? So this is the era where, Mario and Flicky and Sonic the Hedgehog, and everybody was trying out these mascots. And here we have Titus the Fox to Marrakesh and back. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and pull up our keyboard here, and oh no, we don't even need to do that. All right, let's go. Yeah, Paradroid's on there. We're gonna go ahead and jump into that as well. And all right, so just look at the physics and the scrolling on this thing, right? Okay, I don't even know what the controls are for this crazy game. Okay, what am I picking up? Picking up some. Okay, the code for level 1, I guess. Okay, in the garage. I don't even know how. Can I jump on him? Oh, no, I can't. I have to avoid him. Okay, what is Titus the Fox doing here? Can I jump up there? No, I can't jump up there. Okay, yeah, I just got hit with a hammer. Now, you can see, though, as I was saying before, sometimes it's really difficult to discern what is in the background and what isn't, And let me see, can I jump over both? No. I don't know what Titus the Fox is doing out here with all these baddies, but yeah, again, everyone was trying to capitalize on that era of, what was that guy kicking me for? Oh man, this just seems to be operating really, really fast, faster than it should be. What the heck am I supposed to grab here? All I can do is jump. I can't get on the metro, and I died. So there you go. Let's see. Rex VR is going to play Fortnite on his live at 4 p.m. today. Titus, this is Eric Harry's company. Yeah, fantastic. Mark, I still don't know how to play it. Oh, Eric Keane of Superman 64 fame. Oh no. No. Yeah, that one was a tough one. Yeah, Superman 64. Okay, so those were some of the games that were included here, but I've also got a few that we're going to go ahead and take a look that I brought in. So I love a good arcade to home conversion, and let's go ahead and see if this is one of them. Afterburner by Sega, of course. Now, actually, what I'm going to do, let me back this up 1 second here. Let's go in and get into the games, and let's go to the game settings. Here's where it gets super interesting. When you bring your own games onto the A500 Mini, you can see now you have a whole bunch of different options available to you. The crop width and height of the games, right? So you can kind of make them bigger or smaller. What your vertical offset is going to be. The blitter mode, so the mode in which the system's actually pushing graphics out, right? Whether it's normal weight or intermediate. You can remap the different, you can remap the controls if you want to as well. But this system also plays not just Amiga 500 games, but also Amiga 1200 games and a whole variety of them. So you're not limited to just the games that we're playing on the smaller machine, you can play the games that also required, a much larger, more memory, right, or one of the more advanced Amiga systems. You can go ahead and change memory size. You can change the just-in-time compiler settings, all of the kinds of really crazy stuff. It's pretty cool. It's actually really cool. Actually, let's see if auto crop. Let's see what that is going to do. So let's go ahead and back out. Let's go ahead and start this again and see what it does. It's going to center it. Oh, look at that. See, it blew it up to fit the whole screen there, which is great. All right. And then this is Workbench. So you can see that it's actually running Workbench underneath, which is, of course, the operating system, right, for the Amiga. And here we are. We're now playing Sega's Afterburner. All right, let's see. All right, let's see how well this one performs. Okay, we have the Sega music that we would expect. And let's go take off. And here we go. Okay, so this has very definitive and fast rotation of the screen here. You have not the most bombastic music. I don't know what the hell hit me. But, this was one of the earlier conversions of this powerhouse of a game, right? The superscalar games from Sega during the time where, games like Outrun and, oh my goodness, what is it? Shoot, why am I blanking on the name of it? Well, Afterburner, of course, Space Harrier, right? These sorts of games. They basically use sprites, and what the system could do is scale. The sprites are basically, a flat graphic, right? So it's a pixelated graphic that artists would go ahead and create, and then what the system would do is either, zoom in or zoom out, right? Those sprites to give the illusion that it was coming right towards you in the Z-plane or going away from you. And then by stacking up those sprites in layers behind each other, you could create this sense of depth. So you'd get, like a bridge being made out of multiple sprites that would scale up as they got closer to the player's point of view, or shrink as you got further away. So it gave the sense of a 3D environment without using any 3D assets or games, right? Because systems at the time couldn't actually go ahead and manipulate, 3D meshes and things like that effectively fast enough at a high enough resolution to be compelling. So Sega was the king of the kind of superscalar games during this era, and this is their home conversion of Afterburner, not Burnout, Afterburner, to the Commodore Amiga. All right, that's Afterburner. Let's go ahead and jump back in and play some on this. Also, I should note that once you just plug a USB drive in, you see it just shows up there. You're able to go in and actually start playing the games that you brought in. All right, now I talked about the fact that we really couldn't do super compelling 3D games, but this game, which I never really fully figured out how to play, but I was amazed by it because, again, I didn't experience it on the Amiga. I experienced it on the an IBM PC. And in, what was it called in the US? In the US, it wasn't called Alpha Waves. It had a different name. But let's see. Let's just go through the demonstration here. It's basically, you have to maneuver through these different 3D rooms by maneuvering your little, ship around and jumping on the different platforms to make your way around the room. And the more you sat on one platform, the higher you would start to bounce. Then you would have to kind of figure out what that arc was going to look like to get to the next platform and then be able to get to the next room. And you want to basically complete all of the boards. So you can see they're demonstrating the movement of a camera around your character, right, on the right side of the screen, and on the left is what you'd see. And so this was a full 3D game, right, running on the Amiga back in this era. But you can see really, really low polygon count, right? I think your main ship only has, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 polygons? No texture mapping, just all colors, right? But it was really super compelling back then. So let's see, is it going to let me back out of this? Okay, let's go ahead and just jump in and try a little, let's try a little game mode here, a little action mode. All right, so here we go. We're being dropped down onto this platform. And so what I want to do is make my way over to the orange platform. So let's wait till I bounce up, and I'm going to start moving forward. And you have a shadow there, right, to help you. And you can see that I'm now rotating the camera. I'm rotating it down. I'm rotating it back up so that way you can see where you're going to. And now I'm going to move forward. And there you go. And so it was this simple, right, to play this game. But as you get into different rooms, different pads would do different things, right? So one of them would reverse you. One of them would shoot you back in a different direction. Some had enemies and like this. And so you would have to go in and rotate around the room. And again, really just at the time that this was released, it was extraordinary, right? We just hadn't had access to full 3D games like this before. Really, really cool. Alpha Waves. Definitely, if you're interested in, you know, the history of games and that kind of stuff, definitely pick this one up because it is a unique game, a truly unique game. For its era. Oh, let's see. No. Oh, see, so now I missed the platform. So now I have to make my way back, and you have to figure out how to bounce your way back up. But you can also see it's running at, what, like 8 frames a second, right? So not the easiest game to go ahead and play, but certainly a very compelling one for its era. So now when I jump onto this pad, it's going to start auto bouncing, right? So that's like the trampoline. And so you have to wait now until you can get high enough in the air to make your way onto these other platforms and try to make your way out of the room. So that was Alpha Waves. Again, pretty interesting game for its time. Now, let's look at another arcade game. Let's look at Altered Beast, another Sega game, right? Again, Sega was one of the most prolific arcade game developers in this era. Really tremendous. All right, let's hear we got going on here. And no voices, unfortunately, right? No music either. No soundtrack there. But, you know, it's Altered Beast, right? Now, of course, when you compared this version to the Genesis version was smoking. Ah, there we go. Little voice sample there. Little power up. Look at those chattering skulls. Okay. And let's. Oh no! What's that guy doing? Can I jump up? Yeah, I'm jumping up, punching that whatever that is, stuck in the air there. Come on, jump up. Get that power up. Man. All right, power up. That's right, because you want to get enough power-ups so you become an altered beast. Oh, see, look, how come I couldn't hit him before? What am I doing, laying on the ground kicking? I don't want to do that. All right, here we go. No. Come on. Okay, now why did I appear at the other side of the screen? That didn't make any sense. Ugh. All right. Okay, that blue guy. Okay, yeah, and then I want to, okay, but I didn't want to do that. Oh, I think I have to start firing and then, oh, is that what you're doing? Okay, that's kind of weird. You have to press down to lay down and then you hit the button to kick and you can kick upwards like, okay, come on. A guy lifted me straight off the screen. Oh my goodness, what a frustrating game. And it's the speed, too, you know? The speed at which this thing moves. It's like, oh, my goodness gracious. Let's see. All right, let's see. Are we going to get to the end of the level? No, I'm not going to go ahead and do that. We're just going to go ahead and move on. So, all right, let's go ahead and look at, one of my favorite games of all time on any system is Bubble Bobble. Let's see how well they did it here on the Amiga. Let us see how much they got it right. Let's play, a little bit of music in the background. It's not going to hurt us, right? Oh, Bubble Bobble. Actually, let me stop because this will have a soundtrack there. Okay, let's bring up our keyboard. Let's go ahead and select one. And let's see what it has to offer. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's see. Let's see how these controls are going to fare. Right, so the object of the game is it's pressing up to jump. So here was the problem with some of these games in the earlier days, right? Is the joystick only typically had one button on it. So they're using just one button of fire, but you have to press up to jump, and that it's a terrible way to play games, right? You need to have those dedicated buttons for really principal controls like jumping, which were so important, especially in a game like this that depends so heavily on it. Because when you're pressing up, sometimes, in the heat of battle, you accidentally press up and jump right into an enemy like I did there. But it's a faithful, port of Bubble Bobble, if a little slow, right? But it's got the music, it's got the graphics, it's got a very addictive gameplay. Yeah, see, I just double jumped again. And, yeah. So now all of these guys should try to make their way over. And we can pop them up in the middle. I think of all music that I've heard in like classic games and stuff, this is the most earwiggy of a theme song you can possibly get in games of this era. Just really, really amazing. And this will be stuck with me now for the rest of the day. Terrible. Actually, not terrible. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, look at that. We're going to pop them all at the same time. Yes. There you go. That's Bubble Bobble. All right. A really good, I should say a competent conversion of the arcade classic. So, all right. Let's go ahead and move on to some other games. Cannon Fodder. Let's see. Castlevania. That's not, I don't believe they're real Castlevania. Oh, we're going to play a little Chips Challenge. I love this game, and I have this on, oh my goodness, I have it on PC. I have it on the Atari Lynx, which is one of the best versions of it. We have it on the Amiga, and this is a great, great puzzle game. Love this one. Chips Challenge by Epix. And Epix, of course, one of the people who founded the Amiga, right, and created the operating system, RJ Michael, he would go on to leave Amiga and Commodore, and then go ahead and create with his engineering buddy, Dave Needle. They created the architecture for the Atari Lynx, which was being created by this company, Epix. Epix didn't have the money to go ahead and see it through to its completion, so Atari had acquired them, and this is one of the games that came out on the Atari Lynx, which again is an amazing, amazing little handheld. So Nerdy Chip McCallahan suddenly stops eating lunch. Melinda, the mental marvel, is sitting down next to him. Melinda says, Chip, she says, you can finish the challenge. You can join our computer club, the Bit Busters. Of course, because that always happens. Chip has been a disadmirer of Melinda for a long time. Chip crunches his bag of pretzels and gulps. I'll do it. So, all right, so I'm going to do it. Here's the code. All right, so what you have to do is you have to pick up the right colored keys to open the different doors to get the chips and then get out of these mazes, right? So on the right side at the bottom, it tells you what you've already collected. I don't have a green one, so I need to go down to, do I have a yellow? I do have a yellow. make sure I get in there, get into the blue, get up here, grab this yellow. Then let me see, I can grab this one. Then I can grab this one, and I have one more green key. And if you complete it all without messing up, it gives you a Yowzer first try. And so there we go, and that's the time bonus. All right, here we go. Now you start to learn about the other mechanics in the game. So this one, if we move that block up here, then move it over the water and step on it, it turns into a tile. So that's how we get across the water here. And again, you start to learn these things as you play through it, right? And of course, you cross the little question mark. It tells you push blocks in the water to make dirt. Watch out for the monsters. Now, what's really good is these monsters only move in a certain pattern. So they don't deviate from the plane that they're on. So you can see they're just following their own loop. But I'm one square over, so they couldn't get me. And it just keeps building like this, right? So when you grab this one first, the water one, I think I can walk in there. Yeah, now I grab the shoes so I can walk on ice without sliding. Grab the fire one so I can walk through fire without getting burned. And now, let's see, I can go here and this should take me around. I can walk on the conveyor belts without getting pulled by them. Can leave, and there you go. And so Chip's Challenge just keeps building like this. Really good action puzzling game. Yes, really awesome. And
yo, to Rex VR.
All right, here we go. All right, let's go ahead and jump into a couple more games. Let's see, Dragon's Lair. You know, let's go ahead and give that a shot. So Dragon's Lair, which I'm sure you may know, right, was a game that was made by Don Bluth, who was a Disney animator. And this game really was just incredible when it showed up in the arcades at the time, because it was a completely animated cartoon. And so what you did was you just had to go ahead and hit the joystick or the buttons at the right moment based on what was happening with the animation on the screen to go ahead and advance the gameplay. And yeah, I mean, it's almost like a game of Simon, right? You just had to know when to move the joystick, when to press the buttons. And actually, I don't know if this one is going to work. Let's go ahead and try. Let's see. I have a couple of them in here. So let's go ahead and see if Dragon's Lair 2, right? I haven't tested some of these, right? So we're exploring together, right? We're exploring them together. So let's see. Is this one going to work? Let's see. Ah, there you go. ReadySoft presents
Dragon's Lair, Time Warp.
Listen to that. Amazing. Amazing. All right, here we go. It was like watching an animated cartoon that you had to interact with. Let's see. There's Dirk the Daring.
Kidnapped. I definitely kidnapped again.
Okay, did I move out of the way? Nope, I didn't move out of the way fast enough. So when you hear those beeps, those boop boops, right, it's letting you know that you need to go ahead and make a move. In other versions of it, it will actually flash the direction you need to go ahead and move in. So let's see if I can get it right.
I definitely kidnapped again.
Nope, I can't get out of the way there. But you get the idea. So you basically have to make your way through it. I was never good at this unless I saw the flashes on the screen. And even then, could only get part of the way through it. Anyway, but that was Dragon's Lair. And so even though it was in kind of a thumbnail in the middle of the screen, you were still playing that game at home at a time when systems couldn't do that, right? The only way you could play those games was by going ahead and playing on these, you know, these game systems or these arcade machines that cost tens of thousands of dollars. It was really, really incredible. We had a version of Empire Strikes Back here, which was the sequel to the Star Wars arcade, especially the sit-down cabinet one. Ooh, that was great. We're going to go and see if we can use the mouse for this one here. It's published by Domark. Let me see. Let us go ahead and pull up. Let me see. Okay, I need to go ahead and select the mouse here, right? Let me shut the keyboard there. And let's see. That one's not working. Let's see. Let's go and select that again and shut it. And let's see. All right, now can I toggle it? I don't think so. Yeah, it's not going to let me use the mouse on that. So, oh, wait a minute. No, shut that. Wait, where is it? Oh, no, it's not letting me use the mouse at all. Oh, and I just pressed the wrong button. That's all right. You get the idea. It was the old Star Wars arcade game. Pretty cool. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at a little bit of... oh, this game. Gods, when this came out. Again, really, really awesome game for the time. And this was done by, I believe, Blizzard, right? So, company that does World of Warcraft and does Diablo, right? These were some of the games that were done, but I believe it was actually done by Blizzard. It may have been published. Oh, it's the Bitmap Brothers. That's right, not Blizzard. It was the Bitmap Brothers. Blizzard did, I think, 3 Dirty Dwarves was the name of the game. Was the one that Blizzard had done, right? Bitmap Brothers. And this is a kind of a side-scrolling puzzle action platformer style game. But we have a couple more that we're going to play through, and one of them is incredible, which is Lemmings, right? And a game that's kind of synonymous with the Amiga and systems of that time. Okay, so now, okay, can I shoot? No. Where's my... Okay, that's my jump button. Okay, that's my fire button. Right? Okay, yeah, there's my fire button. And so you have to figure out how you make your way through the, the different levels here. So I had to flip that switch to shut off the spikes. So now I can continue moving through here. Boom, there's one. Let's see, Lemming made Gorilla Tag. That may be their, yes, that may be their name, Lemming, but Lemmings, the game, is a different game, not a game developer, right? All right, let's see. Okay, here we go. Jump. Yeah, there we go. Yes, you can see, a lot of the games, too, look really beautiful, but they're also very floaty, right? Some of them. And again, when I talk about having a different aesthetic than what we saw in the United States, right? These just have very much a European type of flair to them. All right, that was Gods. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now, this game, when it came out, you're going to instantly recognize what this is based off of. And it... needless to say that the originator of this game type had some issues with it, right? The great Gianna sisters. And you can already kind of, let's see, Left for One. There we go. And let's see how this plays. So what does it look like to you? It is very reminiscent of a very popular game. And let's see. Yeah. So, needless to say, that Mario at the time was out and kind of taking the game world by storm. So everybody wanted a piece of that Mario action. And so we saw games like the Great Gianna Sisters that started to look just like them, right? And I think, yeah, there's the run button. Okay, that's the one I wanted before. Okay, let me see. Can I get over him there? Yeah. But also, again, really floaty. Part of it was the frame rate at which some of these games ran was just a little bit too slow. And so your timing is different than what we experienced with games at the time. There we go. So instead of the castle, we're getting out of the tunnel right there, which is great. All right, here we go. And there you are. Look at that. You are into an underworld. So And this was pretty much a blatant ripoff of Super Mario Brothers, right? But it was, for the time, I mean, if you didn't have a Nintendo machine, and this is the machine you had, you now had a Mario-style game that you could play at home, and you loved it. And you loved it. Let's see. Yeah, so there you go. Great Gianna Sisters. I don't know if any of the... Oh, is it the same thing? Let's see. No. I was going to say, perhaps it's got the same, turtle movements and stuff like that, but it doesn't. Come on. Okay. Let me jump on that eyeball there. Oh, what's that going to do? That's different. Unless it lets me pick it up and move it, I don't know. There you go. Great Gianna Sisters. Okay, let's go and play through some more. Let's go play through some more games. All right, Hard Driving. That's another, 3D game. You had the Fate of Atlantis. Let me see if we have. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see if that is a mouse movement game. If it's going to let me do that. So the adventure games that came up by Lucasfilm Games, then known as LucasArts, or eventually became known as LucasArts, were amazing. And the Fate of Atlantis, which was partially done by a friend of ours, friend of the show, Noah Falstein, was really considered to be the next great Indiana Jones movie. Just because the storyline was so engaging and it was just an amazing game. And so the Lucasfilm or LucasArts games were really extraordinary, and they came out during this era. Actually, it's not going to work on this, and now I'm remembering why. But definitely something to go ahead and look up, right? The King's Quest series of games as well, all the Leisure Suit Larry games, which are inappropriate for for this program. But then we also have Less Manly in Search for the King, who was created by a friend and AWS colleague, Mr. Cartwright, Mr. Steve Cartwright. Let's see if we can get this one to work here. And this one was an adventure game, a point-and-click adventure game where you play Less Manly, and you are going down to, there's the mouse movement there. And you're going down to Graceland, and it's this whole adventure that happens as you make your way down to Graceland to Elvis's estate, of course. I don't believe they called it Elvis because, rights issues and whatnot. But yeah, so now it's loading. And one of the things about even emulating these games, right, sometimes it still takes a little while to load, just like it did on the original machines, right? But now we can see that we're moving the mouse and we're able to go ahead and play, which is great. Come on, let's see. If it's going to take too much longer, we're going to go ahead and skip, because these are adventure games. And these adventure games, we can wind up spending hours and hours just playing just those one games. But all I want to do here is taste a whole variety of them. So Search for the King, great game. I first played it on the PC, not on an Amiga. Really, really great. When we're talking about, adventure games as well, you can't have the discussion without talking about Maniac Mansion, which was the first graphical, kind of point-and-click adventure game from, again, Lucasfilm Games, which became LucasArts. Really warped sense of humor. Came out on just about every other platform and really set in motion kind of their design philosophy and the way that they would build these types of games going forward and really establish the teams that were putting them together. Let's see if we could, there we go. Maniac Mansion. Lucasfilm Games, right? So before it was LucasArts. Let's choose two other kids, Sid and Wendy, and let's go start the game and see what happens. And I see the little light flashing here because it's reading from the drive. Now, they're really creating this movie-like sensibility with these games. Again, something that we didn't have really in video games back then, right? So this is, you know, leaning into movie-like storytelling, right, for games. Ron Gilbert, of course, very famous game designer and adventure game creator. Amazing. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can't just move forward there. Just get a sense of the point. Oh, this looks like the old mansion. Let's go rescue Sandy. And so now it's, okay, walk to here. So let's go ahead and read what's on the sign. Warning, trespassers will be horribly mutilated. And yeah, so now you want to continue walking up into the mansion. So again, it's this point and click affair, but you can see the snail that loads up there. This was kind of the wait time that we had in between these different scenes back in this era, right? And let's see. So you can see full color graphics, fully animated. And so you spent your time exploring Maniac Mansion. So let's go ahead and pick up this mat. I think there's something under there. There we go. And then we can pick up the key. And then we can use the key. Use key in front door. And there you go. That's how you got into the mansion. Yeah. So I played this a long time ago, which is why I knew to do that. But there you go. Maniac Mansion. Again, classic Lucasfilm Games adventure game. All right. Let's see. What else do we want to go ahead and jump into? To Operation Wolf. I've not played that on the Amiga. Let's go ahead and check that out and take a look at that. This was a light gun game, you know, that you play in the arcade. And you had, you know, when you played it at home, you had, you know, a mouse that you could use and play it on. But I remember playing this mostly on
Operation Wolf.
Listen to that audio. I remember playing this mostly on the NES at home, which was great. All right, let's see. Here we go. Let's go rescue. All right, and there's our communications. Stand up and let's see. All right, yeah. Yeah, so you see, using a mouse is so much easier to play this type of game, right? Where you don't have a light gun. And then you can throw a grenade to blow up the bigger weapon stuff. And you want to hit, like when they're throwing those knives at you, you want to go ahead and grab them. Let's see, I think that's bacon health or something. Yeah, blew out the windows. Yeah, and you want to make sure you don't hit the hostages and all that stuff. Okay, I need to pick up some munitions there. And of course you can see you have, you know, your weapons are depleting pretty quick. Oh, am I gonna? Yeah, and I got full damage. So there you go. You know, a very simple type of, light gun style game on the Amiga, but it was a ton of fun back in the day. Another game that I love is Pac-Land, and this one was based, the art was all based on the old Pac-Man cartoon. And yeah, let's see. Let us see. Let's go and bring up that keyboard again. Let's go ahead and grab, let's see, player one. And then, yeah, this one is not a very good conversion of the arcade game. It's very floaty. It's hard to judge your jumps and everything, and the screen is stuttering. So the Amiga couldn't do everything, well. Or I shouldn't say that. It's just like anything else. When you put tools in front of different developers' hands, right? They're going to create different things of different quality. But this one, unfortunately, just not a good version of Pac-Land, which is unfortunate because Pac-Land is such a joy to play. At least we got to the end there, and you're at your break time, and then the little fairy comes out and and tallies up your points for you. So yeah. Pack. I know, Mark. All right, let's go ahead and check out a couple of other ones there. All right, we had Pinball Dreams before. Here is Pinball Fantasies, which was the follow-on to it. And again, I love myself some digital pinball because it's just great, really fun. So let's see, what are we gonna do? Let's do Partyland. How about that? Let's go ahead and do Partyland, and then we'll press the enter there, and we're just gonna load that. See if I can work that stream there. Have players with F1 or F8, so yes, you need to use your on-screen keyboard, or you could have plugged in, a keyboard. Now let me see, is it gonna let me? Oh, you know what? It's not going to let me use the joystick. All right, it's not gonna let me use the joystick, so I'm not gonna be able to play it. That's it on that one. All right, let's go on to, let's see, Prince of Persia. We were just discussing this on the Boss Rush podcast this morning, which we do every Friday on the Boss Rush Games channel on YouTube and on LinkedIn. And we were talking about Prince of Persia is everywhere. And this was, right, the original Prince of Persia by Jordan Mechner. Incredible game. I don't think I've ever really played a bad version of it. Yeah, it looks just like you'd expect. You have 60 minutes to save the princess. So let's just figure what the buttons are first. Okay, so that's jump. This one should be, okay, slow walk, right. So you see that little panel there that dropped? All right, so now what we want to do is turn around. We want to slow walk our way over and turn around and then drop down, not jump down. Because if you jump down, you die. So let's go ahead and jump up here. So this is a game that was really about paying attention to your surroundings, right? So I'm going to jump. Yeah, so you notice it was, oh no, oh, and I didn't pay attention and I died in a bunch of spikes. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's see. Right, you want to get past there and turn around. Okay, that's the jump button. That's why, dummy. All right, turn around and slow walk it. I think that if I go to the right down here, I will face off against an enemy. Yep, and do I have a sword? No, I don't. Okay, so I want to get out of there. Oh, and I got tagged in the back. Prince of Persia. Yeah, it's Prince of Persia. If you played on any other game system, you played it on the Amiga. There you go. All right, we're going to get down here to the end. Oh, Revenge of the Mutant Camels. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is by famed game designer Jeff Minter, and I just did 2 episodes of Rewind about Jeff Minter. One was the Jeff Minter story, which was created by our fine friends over at Digital Eclipse, now part of Atari, and then his more modern games. And this one, let's see if it's the one I'm thinking of. Okay, so this one, okay, yeah, you are playing as the llama, and you've got this. It's basically a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up game. And it's filled with llamas, right? Or camels, rather. Jeff Minter loved his camels and his llamas and any of those types of creatures, and so they frequented his games. But this isn't the actual game that I'm thinking of. This is the second one. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop it, and we're going to go back and play the first one. And this one should be an inspired version of the Empire Strikes Back. Let's see. Nope, this is not that one either. Maybe it's Attack of the Mutant Camels is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's probably Attack of the Mutant Camels, not Revenge. Yeah, look at this. We've got Goat down there. We have... Oh, and now they've joined up to go ahead and fight. Look, we have floppy disks in the background there. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, some psychedelic stuff for sure by Jeff Minter. Unbelievable. All right, let's go ahead and get out of there. Let me go ahead and see if we have Attack of the Mutant Camels. We may. Let's see. Nope, I don't have it on here. So Attack of the Mutant Camels was basically a reskinning of the Empire Strikes Back game, which came out on the Atari 2600 or the Atari VCS. Parker Brothers was the one that did the publishing, and you basically had to eliminate the AT-ATs before they went ahead and reached the Rebel base, and really a ton of fun, right? Ton of fun to play. Simon the Sorcerer, another arcade game. Shadow of the Beast. Yeah, Shadow of the Beast was another game that kind of showcased really what you could do with the Amiga and its hardware in really capable hands. Great music, great great visuals, right, for its time. Again, remember the era in which these systems, right, were alive and out there in the world. So let's see. I see the lights flashing here. There we go. Psygnosis. Yay! Everybody loves Psygnosis. Let's see. Mark, if you're still watching, let's go see if some of our friends are in here in the credits. I believe they are. So let's see. Beast Lord and Slain, or so they thought. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that cutscene. Oh, what's going on in there? I don't know. Oh, there's some beast casting his shadow. Of course, Psygnosis from a ton of games. Microcosm, Wipeout, of course, right? A whole bunch of them. Seeing that logo is always a sign that a good game was coming, for sure. All right. Oh. There's that baby. Now it's going to be carried away by that beast. Again, when we saw these graphics back in this era, our brains melted because we just didn't have this before. It was really, really cool. All right, let's see. The new light broken. His sister, child stolen. Something. You have to go fight something. All right, let's see. I'm watching the light flash here. Again, this is stuff we had to suffer through, right? Loading up these games sometimes took a while. So let's see. All right, here we go. Very atmospheric. Listen to that audio. Woo! Music by Tim and Lee Wright. Let's see. What is going to start the game here? There we go. The land of Carmadoon. Yeah, look at all those colors in the background. Oh, so good. Okay. Oh, okay. Now I'm just getting wasted by all these guys. That's kind of cheap. Oh, I see. The longer you hold it down, the further you shoot. Oh, no! See, that should be painted on the side of a van. You know? That is some... Oh! Listen to that! All right, let's go ahead and move this one forward here. Man, it didn't even let me skip by that. It wanted you to hear those sweet, tasty licks. All right, let's see. And I don't think it has. So the person I was looking for was Dominic Mallinson, which I'm sure he's listed in the credits for this game, somewhere where the credits exist. Dominic, brilliant guy, very good friend, and just, awesome dude. All right, we're almost at the end here. There's some Space Ace and Space Quest. Let's see, we have Spot. This may be the puzzle game, so let's go check that out. And this is back at a time when companies were playing around with their mascots as being, part of video games and utilize them in different ways. There was a game called Cool Spot, which saw the 7-Up Spot. For those of you that don't remember, Spot, the little red dot on the 7-Up can, they put glasses on him, gave him some sneakers and some gloves and a bad attitude, and placed him into a bunch of different games and media and content and things like that. All right, let's see. Is this one going to start? Nope, it's not going to start. Yeah, like I said, some of these are going to be hit and miss because I haven't tested everything out. And yeah, let's go ahead and try. Let's see if we can get Space. Actually, let's see if we can get Space Harrier 2 to work. Let's see. I would imagine that if it's 2, they learned some things from doing Space Harrier 1. And this is, again, a sprite scaling, or what we call a super scalar game by Sega, developed by Grand Slam. So let's see. Let's see what they've got. Okay, so we need to go ahead and pull up the menu. So let's pull up the menu. And then, oh, you know what I bet? This one's going to, this one's going to require a keyboard, right? Yeah, so we won't be able to do that because I don't have a keyboard plugged in to this. But you know what? Let's go ahead and just start it anyway, just so we can see what it looked like, right? Maybe, I guess, maybe. Nope. Okay, we're not going to be able to play that one either. Maybe we'll have to go back and revisit some of these. Let's see if we can do the first one. Maybe the first one has native joystick support from the beginning. We'll see. We'll see. Here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Sega Computer Software 1989. Ooh. Okay, yeah, this one is straight up joystick. Stage 1 moved. Oh, it had the audio clips in there. Get ready. And that is fast. So you see, it's not really 3D. They're just making the sprites bigger or smaller depending on how close you are, or how close they are to you. Oh yeah, and I think the audio on this is probably really loud. I'm going to turn that down a little bit there. And this is running really fast, faster than it would have been if we were playing it back in the day. Yeah, so this can be a little problematic to play now, but oh my goodness. You're also talking about a much smaller screen, lower resolution, which means that there isn't as much a place to go ahead and create distance between you and, a weapon that's hitting you or an enemy that's coming after you. But yeah, this one was really competent. Look at that. Looks really good. Plays really smoothly. Man, these games, though, fantastic back in the day. Oh, there you go. And I love the fact that it has the audio clips in there as well, right? The samples, which is pretty great. Okay, that was Space Harrier. All right, let's see. We're almost at the end here. We're up into the S's. We have Spot, Starglider, Star Wars, Street Fighter 2. All right, let's see what that's all about. Let's see what that is all about. Let's see if that's actually... Yo, he's back. All right. Good job, buddy. Okay. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Man, that was one frame of animation from stance to punch. It's fantastic. Here we go. Street Fighter 2. And where are we going to be? The World Warrior. All right, let's go ahead and select one player. And we have that there, and we've got this here. Okay. Oh, you've got, again, audio clips in there too, right? Which is great. Dhalsim versus Blanca. And let's see what we have here. Oh, yeah, that one is a tough one. Yeah. Come on. Come on, get out of the way. Yeah, you can see limited color palette. See, can I pull off the yoga flame here? No. I have stretchy arms, which I love. Right, get a good ranged attack. And yeah, and of course we got the TKO. Yeah, so I mean, not exactly the arcade version, but you know, still fun, I guess, right? I mean, this is the other thing too. Back in the day, when we knew that it wasn't going to be the exact arcade version, but it was still better than not having access to it, you know? So even at home, you know, the fact we were able to play with a game that was like Street Fighter, you know, kind of mimicked it, even if it wasn't a real arcade, we were happy with that, right? There we go. Now you have realized the inner mysteries of yoga. That's fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and check out a couple more here, because we're, like I said, almost at the end. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. So pretty interesting that back in the day, well, you know, they couldn't use the word ninja when they were bringing this game into the UK. And so it was changed to Hero Turtles for Europe. So Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, not Ninja Turtles as we know them here in the US and in Japan, but same game. Let's hear it. Let's hear what the music sounds like. 1991, Martin J. Fish. Graphics by Lou Riley. Look at that. 3 people. Probe software. That's right. Probe. Good old Probe back in the day. All right. So we've got one player, and then we have our selection here. Okay. You have the opening without the music, of course, which unfortunately that's, you know, unfortunate because that's some of the best music for an arcade game. We gotta get April out. All right, let's see what happens. Oof. Yeah, no, there is no music at all. And you are, again, thumbnailed here, right on the screen. And the reason that you would have to go ahead and sometimes, you know, make the field of view or the plane that you looked at smaller was to go ahead and keep performance up, because the system just couldn't paint the graphics as fast as it needed to on screen, right? Right, so the ball should drop down. Oh, and it hit me. Yeah, there it did. All right, that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Hero Turtles. Okay, we're going to run this up right up to the end here. Dexter Turrican, Total Carnage. Loved Total Carnage. Let's go ahead and take a look at that and see what that one looks like. Total Carnage.
Total Carnage.
That's right. Total Carnage was the spiritual successor to my favorite game of all time, which was Robotron 2084. Now, the problem whenever you were playing these types of games is Robotron and you know, Total Carnage and Smash TV all required 2 joysticks, one to move, one to shoot. This one, though, we are only going to, let's see, we have a 2-button pad here. All right, let's just go ahead and play. Loading and decrunching. All right, we're going to press fire. So what this will mean is I can only, right. So the problem with playing this type of game is that you can only move or shoot in the direction that you're facing. And actually, the way I think this one is working is actually rotating the gun. Yeah, it makes it so much harder to play because, you know, especially when you are surrounded by a lot of enemies, it's like that, you're not able to pivot fast enough. So, yeah, looks like Total Carnage. Yep, okay. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the last little bits here. Ultima 4, UFO Enemy Unknown, Wings of Fury, Wing Commander. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Zach McCracken and the Alien Mind Benders, Zaxxon, Zool 2, Zombie Apocalypse, Xenophobe. But I want to go ahead and see this last one. Let's see. Lemmings. Let's see if we can go ahead and get Lemmings to play. So Lemmings, again, another really just amazing game, amazing puzzle game. And I believe this is also, yeah, a Psygnosis jam. Really fantastic game. And it's a puzzle game, and it's an action game. And yeah, this one made it onto every other platform as well. So let's go ahead and check it out. DMA Design. DMA Design it was the team that was the precursor to the Grand Theft Auto series, right? So that is how far back their lineage and their heritage goes, is back to games like Lemmings, right? All right, let's see. And this one we can use the mouse for. So let's see how we play Lemmings. All right, 1 player. And number of lemmings we need to save are 10. All right, so what we have to do here is you have a bunch of different movements that these characters can do, right? They can dig. So I'll select the dig animation. And so now they're all digging. So the 3 that I picked are digging, and they're trying to dig a hole into the ground. And so then what they have to do is get out of the door. So that's the goal of Lemmings, is to get all of the lemmings out of the door in the fastest amount of time possible. And now they'll bounce off the wall there and they'll move back. So the first level is acclimating you to how the lemmings move and what you can expect. You can see there's a little map down here at the bottom of the screen so you can see where you're going. But it is a little bit small here, so I'm going to lean in on this. And so now these 2 will drop out. And now we go to the next level. Superb. You rescued every lemming in level. Can you do it again? Let's press that mouse button to continue. Only floaters can survive this. Okay. So what you want to do is pick the little umbrella down there at the bottom, and you can see we have 10 of them that we can use. And so as they cross over, click, 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 click. You see I missed the first one there. That's okay, we got 9 out of the 10. And there you go. And so that is how you play Lemmings. And it just gets progressively more complex, progressively more difficult, right, to clear the entire board. But there you go. That's Lemmings. Such a fun game. And I really encourage you, if you can find it on a modern platform for yourself, which you can, definitely go pick it up because it's a ton of fun. All right, let's try the blockers here. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do is block them. So now we have to go ahead and help block these lemmings. Do you see how we're blocking all of them right now? And they're going to continue walking in this direction. So I want to get a blocker down here so they can fall a certain distance. Oh, no. No, no, no. Come on. Dang it. All right, let's see how many I can save now. I kept missing that little one there on the side. See, really difficult. Okay, well, not difficult, just pain in the ass. All right, so there. So now you set up your blockers, and the lemmings are coming out and, you know, falling down. I think if I hold down... Let me see if I hold down... No, that's not the speed, right? So I think there's a way to go ahead and speed it up so that way they, you know, clear out. You don't have to wait as much time there. Oh, I think, is it this one here? No. Oh, it's this one. No, that's the pause. Here's the speed one. This one kills them all, I think. Let's see. No, that one doesn't either. Here's your blocker. And so, yeah, so this is how this works. So you basically have to let them go and clear the screen. Lemmings, really, really a fantastic game on the Amiga. And all these are being played on this tiny A500 that you can pick up for $120. Really, really incredible. It's the pause. Yeah, it is the pause. That's a very good call out there. It's a picture of pause. And so then when you click on the pause, it pauses them. But yeah. I think it may be the space bar or something, but because, again, I don't have a keyboard connected to this, I can't go ahead and test that theory out. But there you go. We'll have this last lemming make his way off the screen. And let's see, where are we there? Game dev humor. Of course it is. The worst dad humor. Now, you have all these other little lemmings there, so I think what we need to do is... Let me see. Do I drag them there? Yeah, there's... I forget what it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, you had to press both buttons. So now you have to kill them to clear the board. So they all died. Aw, poor lemmings. And there you go. You needed 10%. You rescued 84%. Man, you're pretty good. All right. Let's see. Is there any last one to look at before we get the heck out of here? Oh, yes. I mentioned that I am a huge fan of side-scrolling shoot-em-ups, right? So I think I have it on here. Let me see. Yes. Let's just choose the best of them. The R-Type 2. R-Type 2. Yeah, this was a super faithful recreation of the arcade game. The banger arcade game of R-Type 2. And absolutely love this one. So let's go ahead and give this a shot before we get out of here for the weekend. It should be a nice weekend. A lot of stuff to get done around the house and all that other stuff as we head into Memorial Day next week, right? So, yeah, so let's see. All right, let's go ahead and give R-Type a shot, and then we're going to get out of here for the weekend. So, here we go. 1 or 2 players, and... yeah, you have that flying out of the portal there. And here we go. Yes, hey, hope you're doing well as well. Ooh. Oh, come on. All right. Stop looking at the chat. Look here. Okay, so now, right, if you hold down, you're able to send out that destructive beam. Yeah, R-Type, amazing shooter. Love it. I mean, it's one of my favorite arcade series of all time. Man, this one is... it's a little slow, though, to me, right? Also, when they cheat and they shoot you from behind right as they're leaving the screen, that is the worst. Like, come on, man. And there's my orb. Should be able to fire that out. Yeah, it's when you start picking up some of those pieces there. All right, there. Now we've got some speed. Yeah, look at that. All the graphics, right? Or at least close enough that it felt like, it was the actual arcade version. Damn. Parallax scrolling too? Fantastic. Love it. R-Type and R-Type 2. Great games. And again, when you go back and you revisit these things, it's important to remember the era in which these games were created. A lot of these game developers were creating new genres, games that had never been done before, graphics that had never been done before, experiences at home that we've never had, right? And so they were learning, just as we were as game players, right, what to expect from these games that were making their way out into the world. So, if you have any interest in those types of games or the history of the games industry, a wonderful way to go back through it is to go and pick up one of these small mini consoles. Again, pretty inexpensive. You can find them on sale all the time, but that's the A500 Mini and some of the software that it comes with and others that you can go ahead and put on there as well. So make sure you go ahead and check it out. Once again, if you have an interest in the history of video games, where some of the game designers that we enjoy today, where they got their start, the type of games that they were making early on. And like I said, when we see things like DMA Design, who from Lemmings to Grand Theft Auto, there's an entire history right there that you can follow along with DMA Design games and all that good stuff. So anyway, that's going to go ahead and bring us to the end of this episode of Rewind. And remember, if you are a game developer of any size, from AAA to indies, make sure you head on over to aws.amazon.com/game tech to discover the products, solutions, and services that we offer to help you on your cloud game development journey. And if you are a beginner looking for a clear starting point to help you build a career or learn to produce games in the AWS cloud, we recommend you start with an AWS Learning Plan. This set of on-demand courses will increase your knowledge of game servers and game analytics and help grow your technical skills to solve real-world game development, compute, and analytics problems. And you can demonstrate your knowledge to the world by earning digital badges. Head on over to aws.training/GameTech to start your AWS for Games learning plan today. Now, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Waterflame for allowing us to use his music here on Rewind. Make sure you head over to his YouTube channel at Waterflame Music to check out his incredible work. And finally, if you care about preserving the history of video games as much as I do, make sure you head on over to the Video Game History Foundation's website at gamehistory.org. They're doing incredible work to preserve the history of our industry for future generations. And I want to thank you for spending your Friday afternoon with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next week on Rewind.